Jessica Koch with Jessica Koch Consulting, and this is my Profound Professional interview series. The reason I started this series in 2018 was to feature amazing top leaders in their industry who are the CEOs, the speakers, the coaches, and the authors of the world that are really making an impact in their industry as well as in the world for their community and the world at large. And today I have the extra special honor of having my friend Blaney Teal with me. And I say friend because we met last fall at an amazing business summit that she put on. And ever since then, I think we've been, like I've said before, two peas in a pod. So I'm so happy to have you here, Blaney. Thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you, Jessica, so much for having me today. I'm excited to be here and participate.
Yeah, it's a Monday night after happy hour hours and we're hanging out live on Facebook, but that is kind of the world we have right now. The interesting thing about Facebook, I think, is there's literally like live traffic. So I always talk about the airplane when they invented the airplane and they were like, had their first few planes out in the sky. Nobody was saying, maybe we should think about this air traffic control thing and we should probably have something to do with air traffic. And probably they would have looked at them like, what are you, crazy? What do you mean traffic? It's a big open sky. And that's what Facebook was for so long. And then here we are live and competing, and so many people on Facebook Live at the same time. I think I've been stuck in a queue before as it spun before to get in, and I know you probably experienced the same thing. So Blaney is the founder of MBX and is going to share with us a little bit of her journey and her story. So why don't you tell, not everybody knows, you have a big following, a huge networking group. I don't know if everyone knows your story about where you're from and how you got started. So will you share a little bit with us?
Sure. So as she said, my name is Blaney Teal and I live in Baltimore, Maryland. I've actually been here since 1995. So a long time, same house, original owner. I've got two great kids, and yeah, my journey is pretty interesting. So for 7 years, I actually sold new homes, loved it to death, absolutely loved it. And then I had a baby number one. And decided that working weekends wasn't going to work. Got into title, did that for 7 years, loved it. Then the kid got ready to have to be picked up at school, so that doesn't work too much in that industry. And then I actually got laid off. I was pregnant with my second child, my daughter. So she was due on January 1st, and in October of 2006, I got laid off from a six-figure job. And I say job because that's really what it was. I wasn't in control, right? And I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. Literally, I was going to give birth in, a couple of weeks. And I'm like, who's going to hire somebody who's pregnant and needs 12 weeks maternity leave? And, they said, well, you can get back into selling new homes. And I'm like, yeah, no more weekends for me. So lo and behold, I went to an event and I absolutely loved the concept, didn't like the way it was run. And by June of 2007, I started my own kids consignment sale. And I was blessed to be able to do that for 11 years. I earned over, 6 figures doing that, working from home, raising children. Loved it. But now my kids are 20 and 13. So it's not so much fun anymore. I'm not, I can't get all the cool toys for cheap anymore, right? I don't get first dibs on the American Girl doll anymore. Like, it's just not the same. And I don't have grandkids, so it's just not the same. So I was blessed to be able to sell the business to another younger, wonderful mom who has taken over and doing a great job with it. And I miss it sometimes, but life is a journey. You said that in the very beginning, right? Life's a journey. So with all of that happening, passion for business, passion for entrepreneurship. I've always worked a side gig, always had something else on the side. And MBX, which is Maryland Business Connection, if for those of you that are not familiar with it, is just an extension. Actually, somebody said to me, it's what I was born and bred to do, which is connect people. I love helping people save money and make money with the kids sale. I love connecting business owners. So for me, it wasn't the first networking group either, guys. I mean, I was in another group for 14 years. I started a breakfast club for 3 years. I was in a mom's group doing business mom to mom networking for 5 years. So it's not like it was new to me. It was just the evolution of the time for me. So I've been very blessed. Actually, May 1st, so just a couple of days ago, we were able to celebrate our 3rd anniversary. We actually have our party coming up. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to get here. And then through all of those trials and tribulations, Jess, I learned so much about business, right? Because I was running a business as a true solopreneur, a true, I did everything in the consignment sale. I mean, I ran the ads, I did the marketing, I made the phone calls, I set up the sale, I found the locations, I did the contracts, I just did everything. And I loved it. But through that, I spent a lot of time learning a lot of lessons, and these skills, luckily for me, came very naturally. And that's what I found are one of my superpowers now is being able to help people with the technology and the automation. And that's where all this is leading me, which is so exciting. So I'm just excited to share my story and how I got from point A to point B. And believe me, I'm still going to point C. This isn't over yet. This journey is still going.
Right. There's so many, even in our short friendship, because it just was one, every now and then in life, I think you meet people that you just feel like, I've been connected to you all my life, I just hadn't met you yet. And you've been one of those people for me. And we had a slumber party boot camp work events, and we both learned so much about ourselves and how we complement one another. And I just got to experience and see your ease in technology and your talent to pull the thread all the way through to make the things, do all the things they need to do to check in with people, from auto texting to ringless voicemail drop to the email system to the, the what are those things, those capture pages, right? I was going to call them trap 'em pages, but that's not quite right.
Funnels, it's called a funnel.
Yeah. Funnel technology. But it's beautiful, and it is like building a symphony, because all of the pieces have to work together. And it's interesting because it makes me think of when I was learning, and I had to teach myself. I was in Europe at the time when I had my first baby, and there wasn't, a Joann's Fabrics around the corner, and there wasn't a place you could just go buy everything you needed. So I literally had to teach myself to sew, and my grandmother and my mother had tried to tell me forever to do this. And tried to teach me. My Nana was actually the town seamstress for Leonardtown. She was the one that everyone went to. If you weren't buying store-bought catalog clothes, you were buying them from my Nana, right? And so it all is in my bloodline, but of course I wasn't paying attention. And there's this way you have to think, very similar to the way you have to think about when you're building a funnel, where you have to flip everything backwards and inside out and start in reverse almost to get where you're going with this. And you just have such a gift and a natural talent for that. So if anybody needs support for that, I know a person. She's here with me now. But you have other exciting, fun things to talk to us about. So do you want to share some of those?
Yeah. Do you mind if I share the screen and we'll talk about some of the fun stuff that's happening? All right. Let me share
it's only 7:30. These people have nothing good to watch on Netflix is left.
Oh, okay. So anyway, yeah, I really want to share with everybody. My passion, as I said, is connecting people. So Maryland Business Connection, the website's up there. We're a little bit unique. And I want to share that with people because a lot of people have like sometimes stigmas around networking groups that they're cliquey or they're exclusive. And MBX is really different. We are a community. We are a family. And we really do make friends. And Jess, you've already been interacting with some of the members, and I know you agree with me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we believe in the abundance mentality. And, normally we're hosting 20 local events throughout the state of Maryland. So we have tons of different places that you can go to meet different people. Mm-hmm. And we love to do that. We have a little different mentality with the abundance, because from my experience and all of the things I've done in my life, I realize, one, that there is enough business out there for all of us. I don't care if you live in the same town, the same state, it doesn't matter. If you do the same exact thing, you're not always the best referral for somebody, right? So one person is not a one-stop shop. And I believe in giving options. And I also believe in people showing up, right? Because out of sight, out of mind. Mm-hmm. So you do need to participate and be a part of the community, because when you have a referral, I want to be able to say, well, hey, I got two amazing XYZ people, whatever they are. Why don't you talk to both of them and make a great decision? Because either one's going to be a great one, but one of them is going to fit you maybe better than the other.
Yeah.
And so that's why we have that abundance mentality. We don't want you sitting in the same room with the same 8 or 10 or 12 people every week. We want you in the same room with 30 people. Some are the same people and some are different. Some are guests, some are new members, some are past members that are rejoining. It's just a whole different dynamics when you're in that setting. And, yeah, there's something to exclusivity, but I tell you, I think you get more with the abundance mentality.
Well, and the other thing that's nice that you can do in yours is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but don't in certain membership brackets, you have the ability to kind of visit different chapters as well. And so really you can put yourself in front of a whole new audience, so to speak, or a whole new area without a lot of effort, you know?
Absolutely. So when MBX, we basically have two structures. We have the one county membership, which is for 2 to 4 events per month in that county. So Anne Arundel County, we have 4. Montgomery County, we have 4. Howard, we have 2. Baltimore, we have like 6 because it's a big county. Or most people just join the all-state. So unless you're your boss or your business, like you own a gym in Anne Arundel County, yeah, you probably want the Anne Arundel County membership, right? But if you can do business anywhere in the state, then it makes sense to do the all state, because then you can go to Harford County once in a while. You can go to Cecil County once in a while, or Carroll County once in a while. You can move around, and yeah, you're going to just expand that net of your network, right? You're just going to expand it out there. And you never know who you're going to meet, because Montgomery County people don't drive to Harford very often. But if you're Harford and you're willing to drive to Montgomery one time, you're going to meet a whole different group of people. And you're just building that network.
Great for those people who can work essentially virtually. So like your your computer repair people that can fix things virtually, your web designers, they don't have to live in the same county as you. Your virtual assistants, they don't have to live in the same county as you, so there's so many kinds of industries now. And I think people are, that's expanding even more because people are having to be more creative, to be more virtual. So now they're learning that, there's even more ways that they can do business with people far from them versus just straight in their own county.
So, I did bring a couple of testimonials just to show you, and you can go to our Facebook page or our website to see these. But, here's Rick. He's saying it's one of the best networking events I've ever been to in Maryland. We've got another gal who says she loves the flexibility and opportunity with the group. She's a single mom and has a home-based business, but it's totally doable with this organization. Because again, you don't have to be there. You don't have to be at all events. You get to what you can get to. And then lastly, Ken says it's a great group of business professionals. It's professionally run, and it's well worth your time and investment. So, and there's pages and pages of testimonials. Don't have to take my word for it. Talk to our members and come out and visit us when we get back to real events. First time guests are free. You can come out. We cover the cost of the food. You don't have to worry about that. You can come and have lunch with 20 to 30 business professionals and check out and see if it's a good fit. It's not always a great fit, so it's okay. Come out, mingle with us. But here's what we're doing, Jess, because you know what? Everybody's had to move into the virtual space.
Yes.
Look what we're doing today. I'm very blessed. Like you said, I'm very techie. So I was able to switch to virtual meetings like the next day. I was able to convert all like 7 events we still had left in March over to virtual. And we do this, and we invite all of you that are listening today. And I don't even care if you're in Maryland or not. You know what I mean? If you have a business, like she said, that's virtual and that you can sell online or you can work from home, this is your time to mingle with our members, even if you're not in Maryland. So this is a really cool thing. But we do this every Monday night at 5:30. So we just got off of that, that fun happy hour.
We sure did. And we didn't drink wine just for you. I thought we'd be more entertaining if we did. It was my suggestion, but Blaney wanted us to have our head on straight for you. So I do hope you appreciate the sacrifice that went into this presentation.
Absolutely. I want to keep my head on straight, but every Tuesday and Thursday, we do 11:30 virtual luncheon, usually 20 to 30 people. We make these fun. I really do think they're fun. So if you don't be intimidated to come on virtually with us, you can just kind of be quiet. You will get 30 seconds. We want to hear about what you do. And just to bribe you a little bit, at the end of every event, we have a really fun spin the win wheel with everybody's name on it. And we give away a $20 restaurant gift card. And some of them are national chains like Texas Roadhouse. So I'm sure that you could use them no matter where you are. But we've got things to Phillips and Supano's and Glory Days Grill and Lotus Grill and Brews and Q's. Those are all restaurants that we normally host events at So I want to give back to them by getting some gift cards in their hands that you can go out and support them right now. But you do need to register. So mbxevents.com, you want to register for each event because we do give you the spreadsheet the next day that has everybody's info on it. So if you don't register, one, you won't get the Zoom link, and two, you won't get the spreadsheet the next day. So, all right, more fun stuff.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I just want to say, I really am grateful that Tanya is here with us, that
cool.
Celie is so amazing, and she has some great products, some really comfy but gorgeous sportsy wear, and I just am so grateful for Lori being on, and I would love for you guys to ask some questions. So as she's going through the slides and announcing some great events that are coming up, think about, especially on the topic of funnels and kind of building your automation systems to make things work for your business more efficiently. So if you have some questions, we'd love to get you to shout them out live for now. But as we go, we are going to talk about the celebration that is coming up tomorrow. So keep going, Blaney.
Yeah, so we are super excited. As I said in the beginning, I cannot believe it's been 3 short years. I mean, they have just flown by. And, you know, we still have members that were charter members that are still with us today. We have members that just joined like 3 weeks ago on a live virtual. So we have just a plethora of members. But believe it or not, we have over 70 people already registered for this celebration. It's not really going to be a networking event. So I want to warn you, you're not going to probably get a whole lot of time to do 30 seconds, but we might do some breakout rooms, but it's going to be a party. We have some virtual games on Zoom. So if you haven't done those yet, you're going to want to have them on Friday nights with your friends. Trust me, during COVID. So we are going to have some fun games and give away prizes. I encourage you to bring a drink. We're going to do a toast to 3 years and going strong. And I just want everybody there. I'm so excited to see all the guests on that are going to be joining us so they can experience a little bit about our camaraderie, our community. You know, we have a private Facebook group. I mean, our group is just really different. We have so many really fun like benefits that are kind of behind the scenes that people don't even know about unless you're in the inner circle, right? Unless you're a member. Same place to register. It's free. So come join us. And that will be on the Zoom because we're going to be doing Zoom games. So we need to be on a Zoom for that. But mbxevents.com, when you go to my page, you will see at the top a megaphone or something that says calendar. I think it says click here. That's where you want to go. The click here button for the calendar. It will take you to the virtuals and this and everything else I'm talking about. Like it's all there. So it's all good. But I want to see everybody on there. It's going to be fun. And like, it's going to be really cool to have, I mean, my goal is to have 100 people because you can have 100 people play the games. So that's my goal, is to have 100 people.
We're at 70. Got 2 more days and most people procrastinate. So I think we might be there.
I think so too. I really do. A lot of people are waiting to see what else comes up, but we have a little less competition, I think, you know, than in normal days, right? Not so many date nights and stuff happening. Right. And if you're a junkie, if you're a junkie like me on networking, I got another event coming up, and this one is really cool. So Jess, you were at our in-person Power Connectors breakfast, right?
I love these kinds of events. I feel like they're so efficient. I get to meet so many people. I get to hear so many people spiel. I have so much fun at every speed networking event I've ever been to. I have found to be the most productive use of my time and so much fun. So speed networking is where it's at. If you weren't watching before, you should be watching now. Put this as a watch party with your friends. Share this with people because this is the $5 event that you do not want to miss. She is going to fill up. I just know she's going to run out of space. And I already have my ticket, so share away.
And if you guys have no idea what we're talking about, so let me try to paint a picture. If normally we'd be in a hotel room, we would have tables set up with 8 or 10 per table. Yummy. And everybody would come in. And we'd have breakfast, of course. That's why it's called a breakfast.
One of my favorite reasons of going. The breakfast is so good.
And we always have a full buffet. So sadly, I can't virtually send you food. But imagine being in a room with 100 business professionals of all different, you know, industries and just amazing people. And you sit at this table, and then everybody gets 60 seconds to do an introduction. So you get a whole minute to talk about your business and share your information. And we give away door prizes. And then after the round is over, we typically have one of our sponsors come up and give a 3-minute little talk or introduction. And then we all get up and you play musical chairs and you do it again, and you go to a totally different table, and then you sit
Yeah.
down and you do your minute thing, and then we do our door prize and our sponsor, and then we get up and we play musical chairs again. So this is one of my favorite events that I do. It's only quarterly. We only do it once a quarter. We usually partner with all the chambers. It's so much fun because you get to see many different people, not just MBX people. Typically half are MBX and a half are from everywhere else. So
are you partnering with chambers again? Because I was watching a live today where the chambers are totally looking for virtual collaborations.
So they are more than welcome to push this out to their peoples. It's the same price. Like normally there, I give them a discount and stuff. But because I just structured this a little differently, they are really more than welcome to share this out. I will definitely give them a shout out. We're going to have, a screen share with all the sponsors, and I'll be more than happy to put the logos of the organization. So if you're watching this and you're in any of those, contact me. I can get you a link. We can even track it for you. But so I found a platform. So I was really like devastated when I couldn't host this on May 14th, because I've had it on the books. And of course we hadn't sold tickets because we launched it like, I don't know, March 15th, right? Like 3 days before we all got on lockdown. So I started doing my homework, my research, and I found the most incredible platform, and it's not Zoom. Love Zoom. But this, if you can kind of see in the picture, the little tables in the background, this is going to be giving you more of a feel. And you will be assigned to tables for each round. So you won't have that panic attack of, what table do I go to next? Oh my gosh, I've already been with Jessica and Blaney. I want to sit with somebody else. So the software that I'm using does an algorithm to limit the amount of duplication throughout the event.
Cool.
So you're going to get the maximum exposure with the most different people. And we're going to start using that same particular software at our next live event. So we don't have that chaos anymore. Doesn't that excite you, Jessica?
Very much so. I think it's very cool. I love that it's going to be more efficient and it'll be a lot more fun. And I'd love to, I can't wait to participate in something that's a little bit different than Zoom. Not that I don't love Zoom. It does lots of great things. But this, I feel like has a neat technology that's going to be beneficial to the experience of the event from the receiving end, so really
cool. And I will tell you, if you're going to join us, make sure you have LinkedIn set up, because you're going to be able to hook your LinkedIn account to your digital business card. And if you like to book one-on-ones or appointments with people that you meet, make sure you have a booking tool that you can attach to it. And we'll teach you how to do that before the event. But if you're not on LinkedIn, go get a LinkedIn account, because you're going to be able to just connect with people right in your little table chat with people on LinkedIn, and people are going to be able to book with you right while you're talking with them. So I think it's even going to be even more powerful than in person, because how many times do you really pull out your date book in the middle of a speed networking event? You don't.
Wow.
But somebody can easily click on your book me link and schedule a one-on-one or a consultation.
I'm going to have to get that fixed before I make sure it's all updated and my spaces are right. So before I do this, so that's motivation. It's been on my list for months. So now I'm motivated.
Now you've got motivation, because you want to make the most of this speed networking event. And we are going to be giving away prizes. We had people donate some Dunkin' Donuts gift cards so we can give away breakfast, because obviously we're not going to be giving away food in person. But I'm really excited to be able to bring something different and new to the networking space. And it's something that I believe if this goes well, and I know it will, that I'm going to be able to teach other organizations and businesses to duplicate. And because like I said, I've already done the research, I've invested time, money in doing this. Do you want to shorten the learning curve, or do you want to go figure it out on your own? Right? You can come to me and I can be your coach on this. And that is something that I'm implementing. And as people see this platform, I think you guys are going to realize that this particular software we're using could be used for speed dating. It can be for trivia night. Like, there's a bunch of really cool concepts with it. And it's just nice to shake things up a little bit. Zooms are great.
Absolutely. I think I've made a post that I've been making fun, but and I think people are catching along. But I think I started the trend, just saying. But I put out there the zombies. All of us are turning into zombies instead of zombies, right? Because we just spend so much time here. I mean, I've been on since 7 o'clock this morning, and here we still are, right? So.
I know, absolutely. But I'm getting more done because I'm not driving to my lunches.
Yes.
So I have 2 extra hours in my day, whatever that means. I mean, that's that's something good. And because of that, I'm able to do the homework, right? If we were really busy running 20 events per month in person right now, I wouldn't have had time to research and really delve in and do practices with this software and see if it was a good fit. I would have not even discovered it, actually. I would have never looked for it. I would have never looked for an alternative, something to make even our in-person networking events better. I mean, I was actually on the call with a developer in Poland last week, helping him make it better for all the chambers and all of the organizations. Like, it was really cool. He wants my help. He's like, Blaney, you can help me make this work. And I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff with this.
That's awesome. And so the short story of our long story here is make sure you get your $5 ticket. Yeah.
I know. I'm just passionate. That's one of the things that I love is,
no, I think
like she said, I might work 24/7, but I'm very passionate about what I do, and I will give. And Jessica, you're the same way. You give. When you get in a conversation with Jessica, she gives, and she can't stop giving. I mean, that's why we had that sleepover boot camp at my house. We just couldn't stop. And we're like, you're not going home. Let's just keep working, right? Let's just keep working and working and working.
That's right.
She helps me, I help her. It's amazing.
I think Jen said it, and I can't help keep repeating it, but you put a quarter in this machine and it just doesn't stop. And that's a little bit like where I go. And Celie is such a big fan. She is totally sending her love for MBX and how great it is. So we love you too, and we just love what she does. She's in Edgewater.
She came to one of the virtuals last week, and it was so great to see her. I love it. Like, I just
Stella and Dot, and I wish I could remember something else. Type it in the chat, Celie, because I forget what the names of the different businesses are, but they're fantastic. I just got a catalog, and I've got to do my very best to not make my husband mad because I think I want everything in the catalog.
Oh.
All right, so here's the big one, the big drum roll. This is the big, fun, amazing thing you're doing, and I'm totally signed up. Everybody else is way behind the curve.
Well, I am so excited because, I've been wanting to do this now for months, and I was going to launch it in June, and it's in process, but I decided that, you know what, the time is now. And as Jessica said, I've been really working on my superpowers and really learning about abundance. And I have just grown, I think, so much in the last 6 weeks in realizing that I have skills and I have expertise and I can share them with you. So I'm doing a free 5-day business reboot challenge. It's going to be fun because if you don't know anything about Jessica and I, we like fun. We are definitely not boring. It's going to be live inside of a private Facebook group every day, May 18th through 22nd for 1 hour from 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I know I was going to do it earlier, but I know some people are sleeping in, due to the COVID-19 thing. There's going to be homework. There's going to be prizes. We have a share link, and actually Jessica's share link is on down there because she is signed up. So everybody that uses that link below, that actually will help her earn points in the contest. So definitely use that link. And we're going to be giving away some prizes. But the whole purpose of this, you guys, is to really take you from point A to point B and try to figure out where you're stuck, right? To figure out, where are you stuck with mindset? Are you stuck with skill set? Are you stuck on tool set? Or is it all three or two of the three? So we're going to be going through some exercises. You're going to have homework, but by the end of the 5 days, you're going to know what you need to do to get unstuck. We're going to reboot your business, right? Some of you are still going gangbusters. I mean, I get it. Some of you are working harder now and doing even better now, and that's fine. And maybe your reboot's a little different because now you have to figure out how are you going to balance when life gets back to the new normal. Right. So whatever it is,
automation piece are you going to touch? That's what I want to know.
Oh, there's all kinds. So we're going to be talking
about
the whole
that.
idea.
That's a good
I know, I get it. So each day is going to be on a different topic, but one of them is going to be on automations and systems. It's how to spend less time in front of your computer getting more done, right? How to get more engagement on Facebook without doing anything. And I mean it. I will teach you something that you are going to be blown away by, and it's free. My goal is not to sell you like things. See, everything that I teach is what I've used 11 years to build the kids consignment sale. It's everything that I've used in the last 3 years to scale MBX and what's going to come. And everything I've done is vetted. So I don't just say, hey, go out and do this. It's I've done this. This works. And I don't do things that cost a lot of money because I'm a solopreneur. I'm the Passionpreneur Coach. That is my new name, by the way. I'm going to be the Passionpreneur Coach. Why? Because one, I'm passionate, but number two, I want to work with people that are passionate about what they're doing.
Right.
They are go-getters, but they're stuck, right? They're solopreneurs with passion. And it could be taking, and maybe, you know what, you guys, you might be watching this and going, well, I don't have a side gig right now, but you know what, I might need one because my so-called steady job, my reliable job is not so reliable anymore. It just proved it. So maybe I need to start my own business of some kind. So if that's you, this is still a great course for you because we're going to figure out what are you passionate about? Because what makes you passionate means you will do anything to get there, right? If you're passionate, so whether it's finding a hobby, so a lot of people are passionpreneurs because they have a hobby and they turn it into a business, right? That's why I got started. I love tech. I love networking. Guess what I do for a living? I network and I teach people how to use tech. That's a passionpreneur. So yeah, you're going to see that. I actually just got the domain name passionpreneurcoach.com. So that is going to be me. I'm very excited about that. And again, that was something that was a year off. But you know what? If you start thinking it, saying it out loud, Absolutely. It starts to come true. I mean, that's just the way the universe works. So I really hope that everybody will join us. If you can't be on the lives at 10 a.m., just so you know, they are going to be recorded. They will be put in the membership area for you to rewatch. They won't be up there forever though. I mean, it's only 5 days and then they're going to be up maybe for another 7 and then we're taking it down because I'm looking for action takers, right? Mm-hmm. I'm looking for people who are going to come to the boot camp. Day 1, go home with the homework and do it. Day 2, do it. Day 3, do it. I'm not looking for people who don't show up or don't engage. That really, and I understand you can't engage live all the time, but at least you can watch the replay. You can comment on the replay and you can do your homework. And I promise you, it'll be the best 5 days, 5 hours, really. It's 1 hour a day, but we're going to get you focused and we're going to figure out how you can get to point A to point B faster, right? So you can live that dream life, right? We all have this dream of whatever that is in a couple of years. And we just want to get there faster. And there's something holding you back, whether it's the tech, the mindset, the skill set. We're going to figure it out. And then we're going to figure out a plan to make it happen for you. Because like Jess said, I'm a doer, right? I want to help you take action. I want to implement it. I want to help you get to where you're going because that makes me happy. The more people, I love seeing Jess do great stuff. I love being her raving fan. I love being my friends when I can teach them something new. I love being their raving fans.
Yeah, well, what I plan on doing is finding out what her package involves just to do it for me because, you know, maybe I need to learn it just so I can fix an emergency problem. But for the most part, I would love all of this stuff to sing without my assistance.
And so that's the package we'll be looking for. Don't worry. There'll be a done with you process, right? And a done for you process. Yeah. Because everybody learns differently. That's and like true. You said, if I can teach your assistant to do it and she can do it for you,
that's the plan.
That's going to save you time and money right there.
Absolutely.
You know, and then you're going to be able to work on the stuff that you love to do. Because what does Jess love to do, right?
Yes. And it's not that. So this leads us right into the whole 5-day reboot and your passion and your purpose to the other reason that you are profound. So talk to us about outside of work and stepping away from all the networking, what makes your heart sing as far as supporting the community and the world?
Well, so my journey again has been very interesting. So in 2011, a friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, a coach, asked me to help him on a campaign for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society Man of the Year campaign. That was 2000, I think maybe 11 or so, maybe 10. And I never really done volunteering, a whole lot of volunteering. So I said, sure, I'll come out and I'll help fundraise with you, put on events, right? Because what does Blaney like to do? Put on events, we put on concerts and we put on stuff to raise money for him. And I really didn't think much of it. Personally, I was not attached to the cause, but I was attached to my friend, right? And because of that, I met some amazing people. You know, the child that we represented that year was just absolutely amazing. And so the next year, my wonderful friend nominated me for a campaign that actually I encourage everybody that's listening on here to consider participating in. And it is called the Man Woman of the Year for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and this one is of Maryland. But they have them in every state. So the campaign is really just a fundraising event. And when he asked me to do it, I'm like, I've never done it on my own. I don't do fundraising. Like, I'm like, seriously? but I do like putting on events. So I was like, you know what? And I had a kids consignment sale, and I didn't have a big office. Like people that were running, actually the man of the year that year was the chiropractor to the Ravens. You know, we had people that were on Channel 2 News. You know, we had all these really awesome business professionals in Maryland running. And every year they have different ones running. But I said, you know what? It's not about winning, right? It's about participating and giving it my all. And the bottom line was raising money. Right. So, you know, at my consignment sales, we sold dollar blood drops. Right. And oh my gosh, we raised hundreds of dollars doing that. We put on a bowling fundraiser. You know, we just I did a concert, and we had so much fun. And I didn't know what to expect out of it, except for I met some amazing people, and the business owners. We all had the same thing in mind, which was supporting an amazing cause. And I had children. And at the time, you know, they could have been affected by LLS at some point. You don't know. Since then, one of my neighbors has come down with LLS, and he was 10. So I feel good knowing that I was able to do that. So that year, and not to toot my own horn, but my team, because it wasn't just me, it was a team of people helping me. We did earn the position of Woman of the Year 2012 for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. And I was very blessed. You know, it was kind of fun going down 95 and seeing your picture on a billboard. The chiropractor for the Ravens was the Man of the Year. So that was fun. But I inspired my children from that. So let me tell you that. So my son, the next year, they said, I stayed on the campaign for a couple of years and helped I mentored the folks, and I really loved it. And that's why I'm saying this campaign's still going on. So if you're a business owner and you'd like to have a cause and you want to do something good, and again, it's not about winning the title, but it's really fun to see yourself in the Sun paper and, you know, and that kind of stuff. But it was bigger than me, right? So I inspired my son. The next year, they came out with a Student of the Year program. He was in ninth grade. He knew no one. He went from a public school to a totally different Parkville High School. So it wasn't even his home school. He was a magnet school. He knew not a soul in that school. And he went in there and said, Mom, I'm going to run for Student of the Year. I'm going to join the Key Club. I'm going to join this club, and we're going to get some fundraisers going, and we're going to have a great time. He met his very best friend because of that. We did a thing at the pizza place, and only one person showed up. And that person is his best friend today. This is from ninth grade. And so it was so amazing to mentor these students from 9th to 12th grade, and they received a scholarship. So they would raise funds. As Woman of the Year, we get a trophy. There's no prize. It's just you raised a lot of money, right? But my son raised over $9,000, not even knowing a soul. He wrote letters by hand. He stepped out of we did a big bowling party for him. He shaved his head live, and people donated money and then Tate got so inspired, he went and shaved his head live at this bowling thing, and we raised all this money, and it was going for such a good cause. And we made shirts, and my kids were involved, and it was just so inspiring to see my son say, Mom, you did it, and I want to be like you. And you know, he didn't win because, you know, he was ninth grade, but oh my gosh, he won in spirit and soul and effort. And it's going to be in his resume forever that he did that. And I was so proud of him. Like, he really got it. If you know my son, he's kind of a quiet guy. So for him to shave his head and to get out there and ask people for donations, and he sold blood drops at the Recycle Mart too. And he was there just pushing for donations. And so again, Leukemia Lymphoma Society of Maryland, I think it's every spring, they do the woman. Jess, I need to nominate you.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, yes,
I'm going to
nominate
next year. I will be on your team. It's a team thing.
All the events.
I will be on your
team.
team.
Up to my eyeballs and charities and sponsorships and other things I'm doing.
You have so many raving fans. Like, you will have an amazing team. So it's not just you. You might be the head of it, but you can have all these amazing women from our groups together supporting you. I mean, I promise you, the experience and the journey of doing that campaign,
I'm sure,
going down to Johns Hopkins and seeing what they're doing for the cancer treatment, meeting the spokes child, what boy or girl, whatever, you know, of the year, hearing their story, hearing where they were, where they are now. They get up there, they make you cry when they tell their story. I mean, you just bawl, you know. But you know what? If it wasn't for all this, and all the money raised in Maryland stays in Maryland, and that's why I love it, because I'm in Maryland. And I want, obviously, this research to stay in Maryland. So I'm very passionate about that. And you brought back some really great memories making me tell that story.
Well, that's awesome. And I will totally look into seeing when I can get that on my calendar. I'm working with several nonprofits right now to do a fundraising program using a LinkedIn training that I provide to help students and people who've been displaced out of work. I mean, I'm sure everyone knows at this point, as of February, this current year, we were at right around 3%, and now we're bouncing, just above 13% and approaching 14% unemployment. So the program that we put together gives the nonprofits some of the funds and the people who need it some of the training at a really low cost, for temporarily as our planet heals. So definitely involved in a bunch of stuff like that. And one of those organizations is the Dream Queen. One of those organizations is American Cancer Society. So I would happily talk to your organization and see if that's a good fit for them. That's another way that I can help, and our team can help. I loved hearing you share that story because it is a lot about that for us as moms, and us as leaders in the community, is if we can make the example and inspire people. That's part of why Profound Professionals is here, is really just to feature these amazing people who are doing great things and hopefully inspire someone else to be Woman or Man of the Year, right? So that was one of the reasons for our journey. Well, thank you everybody for watching, and thank you so much for your time with us. Please like, share, and comment. We already have 23 comments. We've had a bunch of people hanging out with us late in the evening. I'm sure everyone's tired. We send all of our love and best wishes. Like, share, and comment, because that's just the way. If you have one of those hug emojis, give one of the hug ones. I really like those. I don't have it yet. I'm very sad. And before we say goodbye completely, I would love just to ask Blaney to share one more thing, something inspirational, a thought, a book, something else that inspires you, that kind of helps you get through your day. One last thing to share before we say goodbye to everybody.
All right. This is the book that you need to all go and get off Amazon. It's The Unstoppable Influence. And I promise you, this is why I am creating my life the way it is. This book right here, I read this about 2 months ago, right before all this happened. And I promise you, it's the best read you will ever. If you have any self-doubt, if you don't believe in abundance and mindset, read this book. It will change your life. I can't recommend it enough.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Blaney. And until next time, everyone, with Profound Professionals, keep your eye out for us. Sometimes we stream live on Facebook. Sometimes we stream live on YouTube, but you always find the article, the main body of the interview on my website. And if you know another profound professional who is doing something great in the community, or is a business leader themselves, or if you happen to be one and you'd like to be featured here, please give us a shout out. You'll know how to find me. I'm everywhere. You know how to find me. Good night, everybody. Good night, Blaney. Thank you. Bye-bye.